What's going on, my friends? Welcome to a Monday night movie chat. That honestly, mostly I just called it this because I want to complain about that movie Old because we watched it. Well, somewhat. Well, Carly full on watched it yesterday, and I half watched it yesterday. And yeah, so mostly I just want to complain about that. But we're going to talk about movies overall because I've been talking about Magic a whole bunch today, and I've still got more Magic lore to work on. So I want to talk about some movie action. All right, let me grab the live stream link. I'm going to share that in the Discord. All right. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay. Perfect. There we go. That's good. And now I can see the chat. What's up, my friends? 1 second. I'm going to have some root beer here. And then we'll do our hellos. What up? Jess, James P, Alan, Brian K, Superbacker, Felonious T, Error. Who else is in here? Alan, Kensuke, Millmaster, Gerthulu, Kenny, Shane, Scrollkeeper. What's going on? Hello to you guys. Hello to assembled lurkers as well. It's Monday night. Complain about M. Night Shyamalan movies. That's triple M action right there. But it's not like delicious. It's like not delicious. Like not delicious. That's the deal. That's the deal. And that's my review. That's my review of Old by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. It's not delicious. It is underwhelming. And like the logic that it builds for itself, it just like kind of ignores it in contradictory ways. And it's like I wasn't even paying full on attention to the movie, and I just had a bunch of like, okay, this is stupid moments and questions. And the movie should have ended at a very particular point as far as I'm concerned, and shouldn't have continued onwards, you know? That's how I feel. Juglum, how you doing, buddy? What's going on? Six Forms. So, Old's a movie where basically you go to a beach and you get old. It's not the worst concept overall, but it's just like the way that it's executed leaves you with a lot of questions that make you go, well, hold on. Like the more, like last night, I just kept saying more and more to Carly. I'm like, well, what about this? No, this doesn't make sense. So it wasn't like some epic movie. It was mostly just, all right, okay. Millmaster says, what's your favorite not a horror scary movie? Mine was Dark Crystal. Not really supposed to be a horror film, but freaked me out as a kid and adult. What's my favorite? Hold on, let me put you up on the board. You're Lord of the Board. What's my favorite? Not a horror scary movie. Like I don't have sometimes when you're asked what your favorite is of something, you have a snap answer to it. And for me, probably because I don't really like watch scary movies or I don't know, I guess like scary movies that aren't horror movies are ones that fill you with like you could fill you with existential dread maybe, right? Just says old is dumb, kids having babies, wounds getting rusty. So dumb. But like it's funny because when you hear that you go, wait, what? kids have babies in the movie. That's like, well, why is that like a problem? You know, like why is that dumb? But you're right. You're right. I talked about that part specifically with Carly. So like what real bro, I don't know. Millmaster, I'm gonna be real. I don't I don't have a good answer to that. Like I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing, man. I got no useful answer to that. So I'm just going to move on rather than repeating myself over and over. It's funny how sometimes, like, what's your favorite questions end up stifling me so hard where my brain just goes, gridlocking. I have nothing. Shane says Shyamalan needs to have at least one more person that reads over his scripts for Logic Hairs. That's you, Shane. Look, your name's Shane of Reading. You should be reading. Joe Smith ripping Shamalama Ding Dong. Yep. The Last Airbender was so good. Shut up. Get out of here with your bullshit, bro. I was so pissed. I went and saw The Last Airbender in the theater, man. And it was like water bubble. Water bubble. Here you go. This is the one thing you get for like paying for a 3D ticket. I felt robbed, man. I felt robbed. They didn't know how to say the characters' names right and shit. It was brutal. It was brutal. It was brutal. The Labyrinth? I mean, the Gremlins. Yeah, Gremlins are creepy. Gremlins were creepy. Jaws scared the hell out of me. I thought he was going to come on my parents' waterbed. So I was definitely scared of that. For sure. If those count as answers to Millmaster's question, then I got some answers. But I don't have a favorite. I don't have, like, because I don't know. That kind of feeling when I was a kid wasn't a favorite of mine. Donnie Darko, Alan, you know what? I was never able to get into that movie, bro. No Country for Old Men. Oh, like a movie, No Country for Old Men? No Country for Old Men, then. Because that's a great example. I like that one. That's good. But I wouldn't consider that like a scary. I mean, like if you want to talk about scary, then I don't know, man. Being like in Reservoir Dogs, being Tim Roth, the undercover cop, when he's bleeding out in that warehouse, like that's pretty intense, you know? I'm fucking dying here. That shit, right? So get back with an answer before Halloween. Listen, let me explain something to you, Millmaster. I don't need fucking homework. And of course, you're just gonna be the customer is always right, and you're yelling it. Listen, bro, you're a Karen now. You're Mill Karen. You're whatever. I'm not putting up with this nonsense. Sixth Form says Spanglish 2004, great 2000s horror film. It sounds like you're trying to trick me into like learning language. That's what I think. You're like, yo, if you checked out Duolingo, it's terrifying, bro. And then I'm like, well, I just learned how to speak Japanese now. What's this? Cool guy, what's the word? The word is pomplamoose. All right. 9-year school field trip bus driver put the dentist on the TV on the way home. Well, your field trip bus had like TVs you could watch stuff on? Look at you, fancy boy. Just the butterfly effect scared you a little, thinking that could happen to you. What? That you were gonna have to suck a guy's dick in prison because your fucking friend blew herself up with dynamite? The butterfly effect was fucking brain damaged. That's it. You gotta like fucking bite Nazi dick or something? That's what you're worried about? That's what you're afraid of? Milma says I probably am a Karen, whatever that means. It means that you need to smoke some prosciutto and mail it to the Pope to ask for forgiveness, bro. Dick, what's up, buddy? I mean, yeah, as a kid, Jaws scared me. Gremlins scared me. There was what's that movie where there's these old dinosaurs and like I don't know if they're really dinosaurs for real, but their skin, their chunks of their bodies like slough off, and there's like a tree with apples under a glass dome or something. I feel like that freaked me out a lot as a kid. They're these ancient, almost dinosaur looking things, and legit like chunks fall off of them, man. Unsettling. What up, Shinobi? Yeah, I don't know what movie that is. I can't recall. It's lost. It's lost to the mist of times. Well, no, it would definitely wouldn't be something like Body Snatchers. That's for sure. Shinobi, you liked renting B movies with your dad? Well, that seems like a fun way to spend some time. Joe, Arachnophobia creeped you out when you were a kid? I don't think I ever watched it. I thought Scanners was pretty messed up when I saw it. Some guy's head exploded. Kablam! Kablam! Makes me think of that Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode where Buddy's like, I have the power to change people's minds. And they tell him to change this guy's mind and he just makes his head explode. Like, what? I thought you said you could change people's minds. It's like, I did. I changed that guy's mind into paste. And it's just like, it's. I love it. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Gianni, you tried to be all grown up and convince your mom to let you go to the movies to see Ghostbusters. You started crying and mom had to come get you. Oh, shit. You know what? That makes me think of the movies. Like, bro, I went to this one kid's house where, like, his parents did not have the same rules as my parents. My mom would never have let this happen. But we watched fucking RoboCop there. Holy fucking shit, man. He gets his goddamn arms and legs and shit blown the fuck off by dudes with shotguns. And dudes getting kneecapped and grenades left out. Motherfuckers get like nuclear waste on them and then they start to melt and explode when they get hit by cars. That messed me up, man. Also, Silence of the Lambs. That also. I saw those as a kid. Killer clowns from outer space scared you as a kid. The clowns were eating people. They're gonna put you in candy floss, buddy. Cotton candy. They're gonna put you in candy bulbs. Time Bandit left you feeling nihilistic with the down endings. You know what blew me away with the down ending was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Spoiler alert in case you guys haven't fucking watched that movie. uh, like for real. Because I was used to North American movies. I was not ready for the end of the movie where Buddy gets poisoned. And then she goes and she races to get the poison cure. Dun, 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 dun. And then she comes back with the poison cure. And then they fucking use the poison cure on him. And then he gets better and they fucking kiss and ride off into the sunset. But instead, she comes back with the poison like too late. And you're like, what? No. No, what? Are you allowed to do that? Because I was used to North American movies where it's always happy endings and shit, right? And so then it's just like, yeah, she didn't make it back in time. And it's like, whoa. And then she goes and leaps off a fucking bridge. And it's like, what? What? And then like, bro, I started to watch like House of Flying Daggers and all those other crazy awesome movies where they have the epic action. And then like in the one, there's fucking like the one character kills themselves, jamming the blade in, and then when their significant other finds them, they get behind them and they take the blade that they drove through themselves and drive it through them, and I'm like, oh, what? So yeah, man, like the whole down ending and things not working out, I'm like, whoa, I was totally not ready for this. It's crazy. Near Dark is a solid vampire movie. Haven't seen it. How about Pitch Black? You gotta watch out. They can smell your blood. Shane, you laughed in the theater watching Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon when they started flying like Superman. I love it. I love it. I love the gigantic leaps. We're gonna fight with fucking wibbly wobbly swords, and we're gonna do it on fucking the top of palm trees, or like not palm trees, but like bamboo shoots and stuff. It's awesome. That shit is awesome. Defying all the gravities. Like, it's like Mexican wrestling where they go, fuck your rules, fuck reality, we're doing this. I love it. I love it. Millmaster, that's what life is, a series of down endings. Oh, there you go. There's a quote James P. can get behind. He loves him. He loves him some Clerks action. So yeah, man, it was quite a trip to run into movies where it's like, yo, wait, like bad, like it can just end badly like this, full on like this. I wasn't expecting this at all. Shaolin Soccer is fun. That one's fun. Scroll Keeper, you want your life to be a series of happy endings? Yeah. Well, you're talking to Bill Mass. You're talking to the right man. Cool guy. I still have yet to see any of the Puppet Master stuff. Kung Fu Hustle. That's another good one, Alan. Yep, absolutely. Cthulhu. They in the original cut had the twist spoiled for Dark City because they thought the audience wouldn't get it. The re-release removed that. You gotta hate it when they're like worried people won't understand the movie, so we have to like over explain it at the beginning or like repeat stuff. It just really dumb, clunky exposition. Nobody talks to them that way. Like nobody reminds their commanding officers of things that those people would very clearly know, because that would just be calling them an idiot. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I like movies that defy my expectations, right? So Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it defied my expectations because I just was like, oh, I didn't even know that could happen, right? And then there's like movies that are way out in left field, like Le Garçon Sauvage, which is like the French name of this absolutely insane movie that I could like. A lot of the time, I feel like I can predict where things are going to go. And never in a million years could I predict where this insane movie was going to go. That one's a strange one, right? Uh, it's, but I mean, it was definitely interesting. I'll say that it was interesting. Gianna Oldboy, I have seen Your Movie Sucks review video of Old Boy, and it seems pretty amazing. Like the original, not the newer version that they did with James Brolin. Oh, by the way, I've been saving up a bunch of like green screen pictures from movies and stuff because I thought it might be amusing to do a stream where we just kind of looked at different pictures. Like, it's like pictures of Aquaman rising out of the water, but in the green screen, he's just sitting there in a kiddie tub. It's pretty amusing. Like, some of the stuff is ridiculous. James Brolin as Thanos has like this big stick up behind his head to show him where his head is, and he's got like it's weird. You got to see it. You got to see it. Break Stop, the mannequin head on the shelf behind me is Nightmare Fuel, a horror movie waiting to start. There's two. There's two of them. See? You see like there's weird noises coming from the other room. Oh, what is she doing? Yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. We've been cranking away on those lore videos. We got 4 installments out so far. There's still 2 more to go. 2 more to go. And I hope they pop off with some really juicy action because I feel like this has been a very slow boil so far, you know? Alan, check out Hero if you haven't seen it. Three assassins storm a kingdom and take down hundreds of different soldiers. All right, that sounds all right. There was some crazy ones like that make Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon look tame in comparison. I don't remember what the one was called. I completely forgot about it until now. But they like there's these soldiers. They bend back like a palm tree and they launch a squad of soldiers. And they basically take their barrel shields, like their tower shields, and like put them up like this. And then they come all together like this big rolling barrel of doom, and they're just flung over a castle wall and come slamming in. It's ridiculous. It looks like so over the top. It's probably amazing. How about Pi? Pi's a funky movie where a guy discovers the mathematical formula that allows him to understand everything. He knows how like all the stock market's going to move, all everything. But then it turns out that like religious groups are after him because the number that he's figured out that helped him understand the universe is actually the name of God, and they once knew it but had forgotten it, so they're looking for it, and he's just like in tune with the universe but not in like a harmonious way, right? He just has this horrible understanding. And he ends up taking a drill and fucking jorking his own brain. It's like, wah, I don't want this. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Bullet Train was one of the most fun movies you've seen in a while. Yeah, Bullet Train was good. Bullet Train was enjoyable, man. When, what's his name? Tangerine or whatever. Boom! Boom! Down on the glass. It's like, come on, man. Come on, this is good. This is good. There are a bunch of good movies out there, but there's so many terrible movies. So Old, man. We watched Old, and like I said, Carly watched it full on. I tangentially watched it. So these people end up on a beach, and they are aging rapidly. We're talking like 30 minutes equals a full year of your life. So they're stuck on this beach, and they can't leave for some stupid reason that I can't remember, but it has something to do with the same forces that's like it's aging them. And so they do ridiculous stuff where like the people there, they have sicknesses, right? So the one chick has a tumor. She's got a tumor. Unlike Arnold Schwarzenegger, she does have a tumor. What up, Cinder? So they go to like cut out her tumor or whatever, and as they're cutting the tumor out or whatever, it's just like it's getting bigger because time's going by and it's just getting larger and larger. But then later on, they have like these two people who were kids when they first got on the beach. They're like 5 or 6. Well, now they've aged up, right? And one of them's gotten knocked up, so she's gonna have a baby. And like Carly was just like, yeah, she's talking about the baby thing. And I said, look, the baby thing is so stupid. That baby would have been like dead like right away. And she's like, it did die right away. And I'm like, no. Like in a way it did, but I'm like, it would have died first. The way they did it in the movie was this girl gets pregnant, and remember, half an hour is like a year. So your whole pregnancy goes by in like 25 minutes. So she's giving birth, right? She gives birth to a baby, and then they put it down for like a minute. And then it's like, oh no, time went by and the baby just died because it didn't like have enough sustenance or whatever. And it's like that would have happened. That would have happened. Like you wouldn't have even gotten that opportunity in the first place because just like the process of giving birth, that baby would have been aging during the process. Like the baby and her both would have lost their lives straight up then. She wouldn't have even been able to give birth to it. But like it wasn't like, oh, the baby was fine until they stopped like looking at it. It's like, bro, how much food, how much calories do you need to like keep going, right? Like they're saying like all your body processes are accelerated by this. Somebody ends up getting cut, right? So they like cut him and his wounds are instantly healing. Cut, heal, cut, heal, right? And so you just go, okay, so your body is operating at a super hyper pace. What up, cracking in? So you just go, well, then, like, you would die from, like, calorie needs, bro. You need 2,000 calories, like, of food a day, right? A day. So if your biological processes are accelerated for healing and everything, and you heal, that means everything else is as well. So fucking half an hour on that beach is a year. You have to eat a year's worth of food every half an hour. Also, you gotta shit that out. You're like, you think pandas have a bad life where they just like take dumps 160 times a day in eating? That's what you would be doing the whole time. The whole time. You would constantly have to eat and drink. And they addressed it in a way by going like, well, the kids like they need more food because they're growing. Everybody needs a lot of food. Like you have what, 6 chocolate bars or whatever? This is stupid. This is stupid. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly, Bill Master. The beach would just be covered in their dumps, man. 100%. 100%. Like they had just so much dumb nonsense going on, right? And like the one chick had osteoporosis. So like she like moved her arm and like she broke her arm and then she freaked out about that and then her arm healed the wrong way and then she's freaking out and she's going on the ground like and like every time she's moving her arms are snapping and they're healing like in all these wrong angles, but she's also moving at like rocket speed. Like it's so stupid. All of it's so dumb, right? So they end up trapped on this beach and like you go through all this worthless crap basically, and at the end it turns out that they're all on this beach because a fucking pharmaceutical company just takes people and puts them on this beach, and then they basically trick them onto the beach. They fucking steal their passports and shit. Like they have this big elaborate scheme to get a pharmaceutical company drugs them first with drugs that are meant to like cure the problems that they have. So they bring like fucking, I don't know, a dozen people onto the beach, right? And they're just like, one of them's like, check it out, I got fucking cancer. And one of them's like, I got seizures. And one of them's like, I got like a constant nosebleed. And it's like, well, you're dead then from being here from the acceleration. But anyways, you got like all these different things. So the pharmaceutical companies basically at the end of this one, when everybody dies, the pharmaceutical company is like, okay guys, moment of silence for the people who died in our trial. Now, we did it, guys. Guess what? That one lady who was in the trial, she basically didn't have seizures for like 20 years because of the medicine that we gave her. So we totally like, that's it. The idea is the pharmaceutical company tests pharmaceuticals on people that they're just like, we're going to do your whole lifetime's worth of testing in one day. And you just go, like, if they had just ended the movie there, it wouldn't have been as bad. But it continues on with like 2 of the people escaped. They actually managed to get out to the coral reef, which somehow negates the aging stuff. And then they get back to the main world somehow because the corporation doesn't have, even though this is like their 70th trial and they sacrifice tons of people and someone almost escaped before, they just have no safeguards set up at all to just, just take care of anybody who might escape or any of that. Like, so these people get back to the main world and they're like, we're going to the cops and they'll know it's us because we know all kinds of stuff about those kids who went missing. And it's like, I got news for you. If you show up to the police department as like a 50-year-old dude and you're like, hey, I'm that Billy 6-year-old. And it's like, what? And it's like, listen, I know only things that Billy 6-year-old could know. Oh, because you tortured and murdered him. That's why. That's why. No, I don't believe your time accelerated beach story, you maniac. So you're going to jail. But they're all like, they exposed the company and the people at the corporation end up getting arrested. And you're just sitting there going like, bro, like, let me get this straight. This company just like goes out and randomly picks people with random diseases. So they're making medications for like every fucking disease. And when they go to the like drug administration and they're like, we've got a new drug that cures seizures or whatever, then like how the fuck does that work when they're going to be like, well, we have a 20-year study. Oh, let's see the data. Well, actually, we just killed one lady on a beach. And like, what? One lady. They called it, congratulations, we made a pill that stops seizures. Because one lady that they accelerate died on a beach didn't have seizures for like 20 years. And you're like, how does the company fund this? Also, why are they importing people from like fucking North America? Like pharmaceutical companies already do horrible shit to people in the fucking third world. Why wouldn't they just be taking third world people who would never even be noticed? Why do you have to get these people to travel and passports and like it's so obtuse and pointless and dumb. Just dumb. Just dumb. So yeah, the whole idea behind it was just like, what? And then I thought about it. I'm like, what would happen if there was like some kind of time beach like that? I was like, either the government would end up keeping it and it'd be some secret place, or some billionaire would own it and keep it secret, and that's just where he would keep his wine. And he'd be like, all right, I'm gonna drone fly over some bottles of wine. They're gonna age 300 years in a day, and then yeah, boom, here we go. I'm just gonna chug down super aged wine. It was a dumb movie. It was stupid, right? Like at one point, this doctor dude is like slashing at this guy. This guy's like this, right? He's like, eh, as this guy slashing at his arm over and over. And I'm like, just kick him in the legs. Just kick him in the legs. And Carly's like, he's blind. He can't see. I'm like, listen, if I'm blind, I fucking promise you, I can tell you the direction that somebody's fucking stabbing me in the arm from. Like, I don't need sight to know which direction the motherfucker who's stabbing my arm is in. You know what I mean? I can figure that shit out right quick. And I don't mind if I miss with my flailing at first, because I'm gonna connect with his legs at some point. I gotta take him down. So yeah, man, old sucked, guys. It sucked. It sucked a fat bag. M. Night Shyamalan makes garbage movies now. Like that stupid fucking movie, what the hell was it called? Knock at the Cabin. It's so dumb. Batista shows up, starts saying weird shit to a little girl, freaks her out, and then he's like, we gotta come in the house because, like, you guys gotta decide. The apocalypse is coming, and you gotta decide one of you guys to die so the apocalypse doesn't happen. Why? We don't know, but we know it's gonna happen. And if you don't, then we're gonna die, and we're gonna sacrifice ourselves in front of you. But we're not gonna tell you that because that might actually speed things up. And then get this. After a long time of not convincing you, I'm going to do something super convincing at the end that we all could have done at the beginning that would be way more convincing. Like, we can literally quote the news to you in advance or as it's fucking happening in unison and prove to you that we are who we say we are. But instead, we're going to do dumb fucking bullshit. And then you're going to have plagues that are supposed to get worse, but then they don't. They're like, oh, plagues are the worst. And the one plague is like 14 airplanes fell out of the sky. And you're like, that's it? That's it? This is stupid. That movie sucked. That movie sucked all the dicks, bro. Pixels was pretty good. Pixels is okay, I guess. I didn't find it particularly entertaining overall. You know, some of the graphical concepts were all right. It's fine for a mindless entertainment movie, but it's not like the old Adam Sandler movies, you know? 28 Days Later was kind of scary. That one, yeah. Actually, I don't remember much about it, but I do remember thinking that was pretty wild. Every once in a while, watching some movie where the situation feels hopeless and you can feel that hopelessness, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. And the good news is every movie that you know will be coming to Magic the Gathering. The Hills Have Eyes. That's a Weekend song, all right? He's only going to bang you when he's high at 4 in the morning, and you have to accept that. That's what he sings about. That's what he used to sing about. James P. Tusk is your favorite Kevin Smith horror movie? Did you notice Millmaster? Did you notice he was talking about Clerks earlier, buddy? Did you catch that? Joe, you like a good horror comedy like Dale and Tucker versus Evil? That one, Cabin in the Woods? That's it, Juggler. That's what it was, bro. The zombies are all fast and crazy, and that felt different. Yamaguro 28 Days Later had a really good soundtrack. Well, that's always a bonus. Watching movies from the 80s and shit, you realize that, like, the soundtracks for movies were garbage back in the day because they didn't like, use pre-existing music that would fit things and be awesome. They made their own music, which most of the time failed, but some movies had banger music, like Ghostbusters, the main Ghostbusters theme. But there's another song where, like, you're listening to it, and at a certain point he goes Ghostbusters. You hear him say Ghostbusters, you're like, damn, man, Ghostbusters was a really well put together film. Crispy, yeah, that's a funny part of the movie, bro. Bernie, what's up, bro? Have I seen the new Pet Sematary prequel? I haven't seen the original Pet Sematary, so I never, like, that's not a thing for me. So no, I haven't checked out the prequel. James P, you heard it slow at work. You're blaring the stream over the factory floor. What? You're blaring this over the flag. Everybody get out of the building. Work's canceled. Take your pants off and run out the door. Donnie Saw. Oh, I don't watch the Saw movies. There's nothing for me there. There's nothing for me there. I don't care for gore movies. They do nothing for me. Not a thing. Big Trouble in Little China is a fun 80s movie. Yeah, man, for real. I loved that when they ask him, "Are you ready?" I was born ready. I said I said that so much to my one girlfriend that she stopped asking if I was ready. She's I got so sick of it that she just stopped asking. So yeah, I've been watching a mix of old and new movies, and the difference in the soundtracks is noticeable. Once they figured out that licensing good music was going to get you way further, that was a big shift in the right direction. James P., you want a Kevin Smith He-Man magic set? Anything's possible, bro. That deal with Marvel, I was not expecting that. Can't wait until there's actually more details, right? Because right now it's just a straight up announcement. They're always announcing stuff. Tomorrow is Ixalan. Tomorrow's the start of the Ixalan spoilers. I still have more work to do on the Ixalan lore. Working on installment 5 now, and I'll be doing that again once we're done here. Moving on through the lore. Jess, good music's one of the reasons you like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That movie was a lot of fun, and the soundtrack is definitely a part of it. The Guardian of the Galaxy movies really know how to use music, right? Like, the first movie was amazing. It came out of nowhere with a franchise like nobody knew, right? Nobody knew the hell the Guardians of the Galaxy were, right? So they're just completely unknown, and like right away with the starting out with the red bone and the dancing around singing into that space muskrat or whatever like it's a microphone, like all of it. Pratt was awesome as Star-Lord, where he's like the interaction at the beginning where like he runs into the same guy later and the guy calls him Star-Lord and he's so excited to be called, like, recognized as Star-Lord. That's fun. Like, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one was a lot of fun. The second one I actually didn't care for, and it kind of annoyed me. The third one I very much enjoyed. Alan, back in the day when there was under 100 channels, what a different world, man. What a different world. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and Master of the Universe mashup coming in toys soon. Huh. Pierce, have I seen Pandorum? Nope, never heard of it, bro. Never heard of it. Donnie, Guardians 2 was an hour and a half of daddy issues. I remember having like specific issues with the way they laid out the story and stuff too. And it was just like this writing doesn't make sense. The writing does not make sense. So in Stay Tuned, the cable networks run by the devil that suck people into cable TV, and if they complete all the channels, they save their soul. That's a funky idea. That is a funky idea for a movie. That's actually a good idea for a movie this month, you know? I love having access to all the things that you like. It's different than the old days where you just had to like get stuff when it was around. You got to go see a movie when it's around. You got to see something when it's on TV. All that kind of stuff. Where now you can just find it afterwards. Like me and Carly just started watching Star Trek Voyager and saw the first episode, so you get to see how it's all coming together. And yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that much about Voyager, so I don't know how I feel about it right now after just having watched the first episode. DeVoe, you tried to see Animal House when it was playing. You were only 17, didn't have a fake ID, and they wouldn't sell you a ticket. Bro, I remember those days when the people at the box office would like not hook you up because of your age, and so every once in a while you could slide in and be like, hey. It's so quaint now. Nowadays, the internet just goes, hey, bro, do you promise that you're an adult? Yeah, okay, here you go. Doomblade, what's up? Chris B, you want to see Meteorite Man with Eddie Murphy? What? Eddie Murphy's not in Meteorite Man. Isn't it Meteor Man? And it's like Robert Townsend or something like that, bro? Yeah, Magoro, yep, you can't find everything. That's true. It doesn't have everything, but it has a lot. And that's enough. Have I ever watched the Puppet? I haven't watched the Puppet Master films, but this has been brought up so many times that I think I'm going to have to probably have Carly watch it while I play Minecraft, so then she can tell me about it while I have to pay attention to it, because I don't care enough. Other Mans, I have not heard of Dead Alive. No. No. Now that Marvel's part of Magic, what can't be done now? Well, they still don't have access to things like Nintendo's properties, but it's just not much. Not much, buddy. That's for sure. Toxic Crusader is a fun, corny film. I can't recall if I've ever seen that, Error. I really can't remember. Mailmaster, you remember your copy of a copy of a copy of VHS? Yeah, it's funny how much degradation there is when it comes to those old formats and like bootleg copies that get passed around. Kanzuki being away from home made Voyager different than other Star Trek. Well, I remember watching at least a few different episodes of it. I got back into it because I saw a meme that had the hologram doctor, and I was just like, I remember liking that guy. So then we started watching it, and Carly was like, "That hologram doctor dude's got an attitude. That's pretty funny." So she's like in the middle of the road towards it. She didn't really care that much about it. And I think if we watch some more episodes, we'll probably end up enjoying it. So that's currently where I'm at. But I could be wrong. We might turn out and go, nah, let's watch something else. Doomblade, yep, I remember DVDs, big fat spindles of DVDs of movies. A Raccoon's Christmas. I remember the raccoons. I remember that cartoon. Chris B, you went to your old school mall and they still had stuff from the 90s kicking around. Nothing changes, buddy. You're in a time capsule. Have I seen the most recent Ghostbusters movie? Yeah, I did, and it was all right. It was all right. It certainly wasn't a masterpiece, but it was entertaining, and it didn't have a bunch of crap in it that I hated. So it was way better than the what was it? When was it put out? In like 2016? I don't know. I don't know which year the one that would like, but whichever one has Melissa McCarthy in it, that one's no good, right? That one is not very entertaining. So, not that one. The one that came after that. So yeah, that Ghostbusters sucked, but the one that came out afterwards with the young girl who's related to Egon or whatever, and the little like side cannon that they pop out of the side of the car, that shit was pretty cool. Donnie, you met the guy who played the Holodoc and he was super nice. Well, that's fun. That's fun. I like the character on the show. I think it's fun that they have like a holographic doctor programmed into the ship, and he's just got an he's just got an attitude. Have I been to North Carolina? I haven't been to very many places in the states, and I don't know. North Carolina's not one of them. I went to one of the Virginias. I've been to New York, a couple different places, but not many. Fucking Jersey at a bus stop at 3 in the morning at the bus station. But yeah, I haven't spent like a ton of time in America. I've spent the majority of my existence in Canada. Oh, I got lore to work on, man. Do I think Pokemon will ever collaborate with Magic? Who knows? Who knows? Anything's possible at this point. Doomblade. They did a Godzilla 2016. Man, I haven't seen a Godzilla movie in a long time. In a long time. What was the one that? Who was in the one that I saw? Same guy who played Inspector Gadget. I keep wanting to say Matthew McConaughey, but I know it's not Matthew McConaughey. He's in Tropic Thunder or whatever. I think that guy's first name must be Matthew, though. He was in the Godzilla movie and he played Inspector Gadget. Millmaster, how's Thursday sound, buddy? Do I think Barks is better than Stewart's root beer? Yep. Matthew Broderick. That's it. That's it. Error. Thank you, buddy. That's the name I was looking for. Correct. Correct. That's the guy. That's the guy. Oh, all right, my friends. Well, I gotta get going. I'm behind on the lore and where I want to be right now. So if I want to make sure I got a video out on time tomorrow, I gotta get going and get to work on it. Get more done. So thanks for coming and hanging out. I know I'm cutting it short, but there's only like a couple days, and then we're done with all this lore goodness. So you can go watch some lore if you want. I put up the 4th installment over on Fantasy Geographic. It's there for you. We will reconvene tomorrow. Thanks for coming and hanging out, guys. Have a good one. The Chainsaw Man's coming, though, so it's time to run.